What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today we are going to talk about violence. Who has been the most violent group throughout world history? We're going to get into that. But before we do, I need you to hit the like button, the subscribe button, drop some comments, ring the notification bell, and share these videos so that collectively we can work to end this crap and fix our society. Let's jump in. Who has been more violent than the owner class in history? Why do I ask this question? Because propaganda would have you believe that unions are violent, that communists are violent, that Marxists are violent, that anarchists are violent. In reality, capital has been the most violent and perpetrated the most violence in human history, and it's not close. It was capital that murdered and genocided millions upon millions of indigenous people when it arrived here in the Americas. It was capital that perpetrated slavery upon millions and millions of Africans kidnapped from their shores and their descendants for 400 years. It was capital that enacted Jim Crow laws for 100 more years and perpetrated violence upon millions of Black Americans to this very day. It's capital that currently is bombing and genociding Palestinians. Capital has overthrown democratically elected presidents who aimed to nationalize their country's natural resources for the benefit of its citizens, to install dictators who would sell those resources to corporations. It was capital that used nuclear weapons against civilian populations, not once, but twice in the same war, and has the nerve to squawk about other countries creating their own nuclear weapons programs. Capital propaganda has us misinformed as to who perpetuates violence. It's done expertly, and its harm has reverberated throughout our national history. So much so that unions wrote into their governing documents anti-communist, socialist, and anarchist verbiage, when it was those very groups that strengthened unions and created the working conditions that we all enjoy today. Make no mistake, there is definitely a very violent and murderous group. They are the owners of society and have been able to consolidate their power so effectively that these days we don't even have a real choice politically to fix this situation. Both parties are owned by these groups and perform a farce every 4 years called an election cycle. Workers' only route to gaining a higher standard of citizenship is through collective action, withholding their labor until they win their fair share of the economic gains of their work. Because capital and owners do not create profits. Workers do. Remember that. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember that the fight is not left and right, it is up and down. And it's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one, get out there and reach one. And remember, there can be no union without you and I front and center. Let's get it.